Hey guys, this is Pamela Lewis, broker of Realty Executives, Peninsula, and team lead for Team McKinney. Today's topic we're going to discuss is the 5 pros and cons of living in Suffolk, Virginia. Up next. Okay, so Suffolk, Virginia, just a quick overview. So there's roughly about 94,000 people that live in Suffolk. So just like, I think 1,000 short of Portsmouth. And actually Portsmouth and Suffolk actually butt up to each other. Suffolk also butts up with Chesapeake. So I thought that was a fun fact to let you guys know. All right, so let's get into the pros. First pro for living in Suffolk, the greenery. It is really green and lush in Suffolk. There's a lot of land. When you think of Suffolk, kind of think of that southern country type of vibe. Is what you get when you live in Suffolk. So I would definitely say the greenery and also the water lines in Suffolk. They're really beautiful. The parks there's one park, if you ever go to Suffolk, Virginia, so if you're not from there, you're not from our area, and you come to visit, definitely go to Bennett Creek Park. It's awesome. It has a skate park to it. It has a play park. I actually will, if I'm in Suffolk with the kids, I'll take them out to that park. They also have like a little stage thing. I don't know if they have something that goes on there, but if you're from the Bennett Creek area, let me know, because there's a little stage, so I guess they would have concerts. People launch their boats over there. They go fishing. I mean, it has it going on. So that's number 1 for Suffolk, Virginia. Number 2 for living in Suffolk, Virginia. As I stated before, it's a quaint, small town, but it's a vast land. So they give you that small town feel if you go into their downtown area, which is in the southern part of Suffolk. I don't know if you guys are like me, but I love love stories, and quite a few love stories that have like the high school football type of vibe in the movies. They always have like these festivals for small towns, and like Suffolk is like one of those towns. They have like the Peanut Festival, and they have their queen of the festival. It's just such a small country type vibe, so it's really refreshing to go out there in the southern, especially in the southern part, because you get that kind of like that country feel. 3 for living in Suffolk, Virginia. There's a lot of smiling faces, especially in the southern part. And I say southern part is because the northern part is kind of like that suburban-ish, I don't even know if that's a word, but suburban-ish town in the northern part of Suffolk. But like the southern part of Suffolk that's going out towards Smithfield, or you might go out through Suffolk if like you're going to North Carolina. That southern part of Suffolk, there's a lot of smiling faces. So when you're driving through the town, or you're driving through the neighborhoods, you typically, because I don't know, you might drive through there and you might get some grumpy people that day. Typically when you're driving through the southern part of Suffolk, you will get like the waves and the highs. So that's really a cool feature of living or just visiting Suffolk. Number 4 pro of Suffolk, Virginia. There's a lot of buildable land out in Suffolk. So have you been thinking about maybe building a house? The land out there is not that expensive. There's also quite a few houses that I've noticed that will come on the market for sale, and you can find houses as inexpensive as $30,000 to $40,000. Houses, most of the houses I've seen are like early 1900s. So they usually are not much to talk about. So you could renovate them, but it looks like to me, based off the numbers, sometimes it's great to get those houses and just build a new house on. So I would say that would be the 4th pro of Suffolk, Virginia. The 5th pro of Suffolk, Virginia. There's hardly any traffic. So, again, there's 2 parts of Suffolk. There's the 58 to the southern part of Suffolk, Highway 58. From what I've seen when I travel on it, there's hardly any traffic. Occasionally there will be standstill traffic on one side of the highway, and it's a 2-lane highway on 58 if there's an accident. if there's a bad accident, depending on how the cars have collided, or if it's an 18-wheeler tractor trailer, because there's quite a few that are running through 58, depending on how they unfortunately hit each other, that could stop the 2 lanes from going. There is a shoulder, I think on both sides if I'm not mistaken, but depending on how big the accident is, it can stop the traffic. But other than that, there's not that major 5 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning traffic. Now in the northern part, where our Hampton, our Merrimack tunnel is located, where Suffolk meets up with Newport News as going through the tunnel. So as Suffolk meets up with Newport News via the tunnel, now there will be traffic there because there's so many people that are trying to get in the tunnel to get to whatever side. But other than that, to get around Suffolk area, the back roads, the highways, there's not much traffic. All right, guys, let's get into the cons of Suffolk, Virginia. So the number one con I would say of Suffolk is they have one of the highest property taxes. They're not the only city that has high property taxes, but they're one of the cities that do. The contrast of that is you typically get a lot of house for not a lot of money compared to the other cities, but your city taxes are greater, so it kind of equals out. So it depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for a place with a lot of land, when I say a lot of land, like half an acre, 3 acres, Suffolk is your place. Number 2 con of Suffolk, Virginia, similar to Chesapeake, there's not much nightlife. Now you do have your restaurants, as you do in every small town, your Applebee's, so they have a bar. I mean, you do have your cool restaurants that have bars, but I don't think, I could be wrong, but I don't think they're staying open late till 2 o'clock in the morning. So there's no nightlife, so it's a great place for you to travel outside the city and then come back home to your home in Suffolk. Number 3, the third con of Suffolk, Virginia, there is not much shopping. So you have your big box stores, your Walmart, I want to say Target, but I don't even think Suffolk has a Target. Yeah, they got a Walmart. Definitely have a Walmart. They do have a Belk. So if you're familiar with the Belk department store, that's the only place in the Hampton Roads you can find Belk, is out in Suffolk area. I know quite a few people who travel actually from the other cities just to go to Belk. Yeah, there's not much shopping. You have your little small mom and pop, like little shopping stores, but there's no major shopping of living in Suffolk. But I believe the people who live in Suffolk actually like it that way, because then you don't have the traffic. Number 4 con of Suffolk, Virginia, there's not that many jobs. When I say there's not that many jobs, there's not that many major corporations that are in Suffolk area. Probably by design, because the land is cheap there, so you think they would open up. But you know, also too, you got to have something to do for your people who live in the area. So yeah, there's not a lot of corporations that are in Suffolk, Virginia. Okay guys, so the 5th con of Suffolk, Virginia. So if you listen to my pros, I'm saying how beautiful it is, how small town it is, but it takes you a little bit of time to get places in Suffolk. When I say to places, like the places to go shopping, you know, to get to work. So most places, if you live in Suffolk, to get somewhere else, it takes you roughly about 30 minutes. And I think the people who live in Suffolk are okay with that, because I think they really do like coming home to that small town, no traffic vibe that Suffolk has. But if you're used to being like 10 minutes, 15 minutes away from somewhere, that's definitely going to be a con for you, because it will take you roughly about 30 minutes to get to wherever major you want to go to. All right. Okay guys, so that was my 5 pros and cons of living in Suffolk, Virginia. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, give me a thumbs up. As always, make sure you subscribe to my channel if you have not already, because I would love for you to get notification of the next videos that are coming up. So I hope you guys have a great day. Leave me a comment. I would love to hear from you. Email me, text me, SOS me, whatever you have to do. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much.